Hi there folks, it's Toad Hancocks here with Visordown.com, and we are in stunning Sardinia for the launch of Moto Guzzi's new V85 TT. Just to talk about the two bikes that we've ridden today before I go into any of the specific details. There's this bike which you can see here, which has got the two-tone paint, and there's also a grey bike that we've been riding. This bike is 11099 and it comes with the red frame, the two-tone paintwork, and also the Michelin Anarchy sort of semi-road, semi-off-road tyres. The grey bike that you saw me riding earlier on comes with more road-biased Metzeler Tourance tyres. So, first things first, let's talk about the engine. So we've got an 80 horsepower, 80 Newton meter V-twin. Obviously it's a Moto Guzzi, so it's mounted across the frame. It's a pushrod engine, and it's only got 2 valves a cylinder. Now that all sounds like quite archaic technology, but it's something that Moto Guzzi really know, and it's all that Moto Guzzi have done for a long time. So they know what they're doing. I mean, it may sound low tech, but inside it's got titanium rods, it's got roller tappets, so it's quite a high tech bike. And the thing that surprised me with the engine is how on tick over, when you rev it, it sounds quite docile. But when you're out on the road and you get it in the sweet spot, sort of between 4.5 and about 8,000 RPM, the engine really comes alive and it's really tractable, and it's got plenty of torque, but it does kind of fizzle out after about 8,000. So you just need to make sure that you're keeping track of what gear you're in. Onto the handling of the bike. Now, I probably say this on every bike launch that I've ever been on, but these are some of the best roads that I've ever ridden, and these really are. It's absolutely stunning here. We've ridden up the side of a mountain, hairpin after hairpin after hairpin, and there have been really long, really fast stretches of road, and this just doesn't handle like it looks. It looks like it should be wallowing and pushing wide in corners, but it's really, really nice to ride. We've been scraping the hell out of the foot pegs all day. One of the things it could do with a little bit more ground clearance in that department, but it is such a good bike to go thrashing down a B road on, and it's the biggest surprise because I mean it's 236 kilograms, I think. It's getting on for 240 kilograms when it's fully fueled up. So you get on it and you don't think it's going to handle that well. It's not wallowy. The suspension's really plush. Up front we've got 41mm shocks which have got rebound and compression damping adjustability. You've got a good quality rear shock absorber. You can upgrade for an Öhlins. I don't really think that you'd need to, because that is more than up to the job, and you've got the same adjustability there. Stability is great. Front end is absolutely rock solid when you're hauling it down from above motorway speeds, and it's just a brilliant package. It's well designed, it's well built, and it just works, and that's the biggest compliment that I can pay this bike. I just mentioned the front end stability, so may as well just move on to the braking system. Up front we've got twin discs, obviously. We've got 4-pot Brembo calipers. They're not the top spec Brembos, they're not the highest specification that they do. But like everything else on this bike, it doesn't really need that level of high tech, of high spec performance. These are more than adequate, and they're perfectly up for the job. You've got loads of feel in the lever. They're not even radial calipers. They are adjustable levers, but they're not radial calipers. But you get loads and loads of feedback through the lever, plenty of power. Only really feeling the ABS cut in when you absolutely hammer it, or if the road surface is a little bit dusty or a little bit uneven. Again, like everything on this bike, it's designed, executed and done well, and it just works perfectly. Just going to talk about the equipment that's on this bike. While some of the componentry in the engine may sound archaic and old, what you've got up front in the terms of this TFT dash is absolutely bang up to date. First and foremost, it's one of the nicer TFT dashes that I've seen. It's really easy to ride, and it's not just white on black or black on white. It's actually got shades of blue and red and orange in there as well. And it makes it really easy to pick out all of the information, which is clear, is where you need it. It hasn't got too many of those tricky little things where you can flip the dash and change the dials, which I don't really get into anyway. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. It's just well done, clearly laid out, and it all works. So with the TFT dash, this bike has inherited part of Piaggio, who own Moto Guzzi. They've got a system, turn-by-turn navigation, which we've seen on some bikes like the MP3. This gets it, but it gets it in a much bigger way. Basically, you can download an app on your phone and you type in your destination on your phone. And once the phone is hooked up to the bike that's got the Bluetooth module fitted to it, you set your route, click go, and all of the turns, junctions, distance to the next turn, and the turn after that will be shown on the dash in front of you. So it takes up the whole dash, so you then can't see your revs, your speed, your fuel or anything, but you can flick from one display to the other using the right-hand switch cube over there. So again, it's a really intuitive system. It's very easy to use, and if you don't have to take a big bulky sat-nav and you've got your mobile phone with you, it's a perfect answer to that question of how do I know where I'm going. The other options that you can get with the Bluetooth connectivity is that if you hook it up to your phone, you can actually answer and cancel or reject calls if you've got sort of a Sena Bluetooth headset or an interphone fitted to your helmet. You can also flick through the audio on your MP3 player and change the track. So it's a pretty cool system, and the fact that it's all integrated, you don't need to buy anything else to go with it to get it to work, I think is great. While we're talking about equipment, it is a semi-off-road, semi-on-road bike, so it has got riding modes. It's got rain, road and off-road. So rain is maximum ABS, progressive throttle map. Road is lower level ABS and the full throttle map, so what you ask for you will get. And then the off-road mode, which we had a little play about on some dirt earlier on, which I think you might be looking at now, which turns the ABS off to the back wheel and takes the traction control almost all of the way out. And that was really good fun to slide the bike around on the dirt. If you want to, you can go into the menus and take out the traction control and the ABS separately as well, if you're feeling a little bit crazy. So first and foremost, things that I really like about this bike. First, I like the styling. I know some of you out there won't, but I think it looks great. I like the retro sort of feel of the bike, and I think it's just a really well packaged and well designed machine. The paintwork's fantastic and all the decals just look really, it's bang on trend, if you kind of know where I'm coming from. I really like the character of the engine. I've not ridden a Moto Guzzi before, so having the V-twin mounted across the frame that way, it was a new experience to me, and it was one that I can't wait to sort of come back to and ride another Moto Guzzi a bit further down the line. Another thing, the final thing that I really like about the bike is the handling and the way that it surprised me with how good it was and how genuinely enjoyable it is to ride and to throw it around. The only thing that I don't like about the bike is that it hasn't got a user configurable rider mode. So it hasn't got like a user mode where you can pick bits of road, bits of rain and bits of off-road, but you can do it all in the menus anyway. So really I'm nitpicking. So there we go. To sum it up, my verdict on this bike is that it is really in a class of its own. You think of other midweight adventure off-road bikes and you've got things like the Triumph Tiger 800, you've got Ducati's new 950 Multistrada, but they don't do the retro thing as well as this does. The Triumph Tiger is probably better off-road than this, but this is probably better on-road. And the Multistrada is better on-road than this, but this is better off-road. So actually, when you look at it like that, this is probably the best mix of all of those things in one, and I think I love it. You read the full review on Visordown.com.